Hi, I'm Kristin Horler, and welcome. I am so excited for our guest today, Jennifer Martinez. She's been a friend of mine for many years, a fellow fitness professional. Unfortunately, she's up in the cold climate, whereas I'm down in sunny Florida. I keep telling her, get down here, especially when she complains about snowstorms. But I wanted to bring her on today to share with us a little bit about a recent presentation that she went to, and I'm just fascinated to learn more. But first, let's go ahead and turn it over to Jennifer if you want to share a little bit more about where you live, how many kids you've got, your fitness and nutrition background. Just tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everybody. As Kristin mentioned, I am up in the Northeast, and we've been friends for quite some time now. And I knew Kristin when I first entered the fitness professional world. I was a runner, started out a little over 10 years ago as a runner. Then I became a running coach, and then I decided to dive headfirst and full force into the fitness and nutrition industry. And I've been a fitness personal trainer for a little over 6 years. About 3 years ago, I got my precision nutrition certification. And I'm now recently pursuing my master's in nutrition and exercise physiology. So I'm a little bit busy, but I still find time to be a mom, a wife of 3 little girls, 8, 8, and 5. Yes.
And who's right behind you?
My 5-year-old.
She
so just got out of school. She's going to be nice and quiet, and there will be no nanny coming in to drag her out like the guy from CNN that's going viral.
I'm impressed.
Stay there. She's going to stay there nice and quiet. But I had the privilege of attending a fantastic presentation in New York City. I have that advantage of being in the Northeast and being close to New York City, where a lot of people love to come and visit and do talks. But this one in particular was really a wonderful experience, and I got to see and hear from her personally, Susan Silverstein, who is the founder of beatcancer.org. And she spoke to us about cancer prevention and basically about a lot of interesting things about how to fight cancer with your fork, which I thought was really, really fascinating.
That's great. I have seen her present in Florida. It has been a couple of years, but man, she is a wealth of knowledge. And I'm so glad you had the opportunity to hear her, share some of the recent research out there and her passion, because you and I are both incredibly passionate about nutrition.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about, how do we fight cancer with our fork?
This cancer presentation really hit home. Nowadays, it's hard to find someone who is not either directly affected by this disease or knows someone who was directly affected by the disease. I have had the unfortunate circumstance of having to have a few friends as well as family members who've been trying to fight cancer. And for me, this was a very personal event to attend, because I really am passionate about helping folks and educating folks about how to best, take care of their bodies. And one of the things that Susan mentioned and how she started off was that there is a cure to cancer. And as powerful as that sounds, a lot of people don't know that there is a cure to cancer. And that cure is called prevention. And we've been spending billions of dollars on early detection, on research and research and research and research. And all of these years we've spent on research, we now have the outcomes. And, now is the time to start educating people on how to prevent the disease. It's not so much about early detection and fighting, the lack of awareness in the community, but more so about finding ways to educate ourselves and attacking this disease at the cellular level and making sure that we understand how to prevent it from even happening. So that was really powerful for me, because I had never heard of anyone present or speak about cancer in such a fashion, that there is a cure, it is preventable, we just need to educate ourselves about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe also that food is so powerful. Food really has the power to heal us and make us healthy. And food also has the power to make us very sick. And I think we're seeing that so much in our society today with the rise of cancer, heart disease, diabetes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, and I think what's more important is that a lot of folks are not really understanding that cancer is a metabolic, cellular disease. It's not something that, you can contract. It's not a virus. It's not, skin deep. It goes way, way down to the cellular level. And it's basically when cancers in our body decide to go rogue, if you will. And these cells no longer are under the direction of our system and are directed to do specific things, but suddenly they take on a life of their own. And we, without knowing, many of us, continue to contribute to that growth without realizing it. And that was something that was really interesting and powerful about that. Genetics do play a factor in it, but more so than not, even if you have a gene, it's more so about the lifestyle. Even, studies that were done across communities and samples around the world showed that even though there was a genetic role and play, if you will, parameter there was still a lifestyle component. And the lifestyle component is really what are the biggest risk factors for us to contract and to get cancer. So that was very interesting as well. I found from her talk, which is something we weren't aware of. You don't necessarily have to have it, and you don't have to get it, and you don't have to die from it. So.
Right. It's powerful, and I think it's very scary for a lot of people too, because we can think that we're doing the best things possible, and there is still more. There's still more that I can do. There's still more that you can do, and I think it's important to start somewhere. So we're talking so much about nutrition, but I know there's some other factors to look at. What are the other factors that we can look at when it comes to our daily life to either prevent cancer or in some cases, support the body better for someone who is diagnosed?
Well, one of the things that she mentioned, there are 5 ways that we can do this, right? It's daily diet. I hate to use the word diet because people think diet, they automatically think weight loss. Right. And it's about daily food intake, daily nutrition. What are you eating on a day-to-day basis? Okay, so those are just one of the ways that we can fight cancer with our fork. Detox is another issue. One of the things she mentioned was that our pancreas, which is our digestive enzyme maker, it's our little machine that really keeps our digestive system intact and healthy, gets overused. And keeping that particular organ along with our liver and our kidneys, which help to detoxify the body, is critical to keep those organs healthy. And the only way to do that is to really detox of all of the toxins that we take in from our environment, from our food, and things like that. So it's important to detox the body. The third point she made was exercise. Oh, surprise, exercise.
That facilitates the detoxification process too.
Absolutely. Exercise plays such a critical component. As much as, our society today fights, the need to exercise, and I cringe every time I hear it's like, oh, lose weight without exercise, blah, blah, blah. I can't. It's exercise not only is a way to combat excess fat and excess pounds, but it is a way to detox the body as well as provide oxygen to cells. And that's critical to making sure that we try to keep an environment that's not good for cancer. Stress management, surprise, right? Society today, more often than not, when it comes to families, both parents or spouses, partners are working. So when you have, 2 people working in a household, it can become very stressful. Our days are longer, our sleep patterns are shorter, et cetera, which all are causes to increase stress in our lives. And the last factor was sun exposure. So another component of why I should move to Florida. But
so she's encouraging sun exposure?
Yes, she was encouraging sun exposure for the sake of some of the nutrients that we can receive from light and vitamin D and other good things that we can get from sunlight. It also is a way to decrease stress and increase certain hormones that make us happier, if you will. There's a lot of folks nowadays are suffering from depression due to lack of light and lack of sun exposure. So a lot of these are contributing factors, but ways that we can fight off the probability of getting cancer.
That's wonderful. So I know that I've been reading a lot of research about reducing the acidity of our body and trying to achieve a more alkaline state. Did she touch any at all on that area? Because I would love to learn some more about what her position is.
Yeah, her position was very, very clear that there are a lot of contributing factors that create sort of an environment for cancer to grow and to continue to flourish. And what we want to do is we want to minimize those those components that create that environment in our bodies. One of them, which is pretty critical, is the acidity in our bodies. And increasing the alkaline in our bodies and regulating the pH in our bodies. And a lot of that can be combated with green leafy vegetables, lemon water, lots and lots of water to regulate the pH balance in our bodies. I, for one, never thought that that was something I needed to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
I never considered it as something I needed to, keep tabs on or was unaware of it, but it's critical. Cancer grows in an acidic state. And that's something that we need to make sure that we need to fight in our bodies, along with a lot of the usual factors here, which are sugar, refined sugars, and simple carbs and simple sugars. Those are all feeding grounds, if you will. Feeds cancer, feeds these cells, continues to allow them to go rogue and to grow and to spread. And so these are the things that she really, really warns us about either eliminating completely or at the very least doing your best to avoid them. Sugars, simple carbs, making sure that we get enough water in our system and things of that nature. It's a very simple thing in her view. Change in lifestyle can really create what we call the healthiest, a healthy environment for ourselves. And we don't necessarily need to go down the road of being cancer patients or having to worry about cancer. She's like, it's very simple. Modifying our lifestyle, we can avoid nearly 70% of most cancers. That's a huge number. That's a huge number. I'm like, this is huge, guys. 70% of cancers, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancers, stomach cancers and throat cancers. I mean, colon cancer, which I don't know if you read the New York Times recently, there was a study and folks coming out that are even younger and younger these days of contracting colon cancer in their 20s. Like, who in their 20s is thinking about getting their colon checked? Not me, Not that I'm in my 20s anymore, but still, in my 20s, I was not thinking about that.
No.
But these are, a simple lifestyle change slowly but surely increases your likelihood of not getting some of these cancers. And it's just it's a simple formula. It's really a simple formula.
So I have to ask you, I'm not a vegan. I am a huge supporter of whole foods and plant-based nutrition. Did she say anything about consuming animal products? And I mean cow milk, any type of meats at all, even chicken and fish.
Listen, she had a very complete and thorough list. I mean, there's years of research in here. We can cite some of the research studies that have been done that we've cited and that she discussed in her lecture here. But it was very simply put, it's how not to feed cancer, okay? Avoiding red meat. Animal fats are the highest fat content that we get our calories from. So fat calories from animal fats are definitely something that contribute to a positive cancer environment. So if we don't want to feed the cancer, we stay away from animal fats. And this is not to say that we're never going to have an animal fat, we're never going to have chicken again, we're never going to have red meat again. It's about daily doses of animal fat. Like, how do we reduce that? How can you reduce that? And in one of the cases she cited, just a simple decrease of 15% less animal fats in your diet can increase your likelihood of not contracting cancer by 40%.
15%.
That's pretty big. 15%. A 15% reduction, okay? That's it.
Wow.
So we're not talking about eliminating animal fats. We're talking about reducing them.
Right.
Not to mention all of the other, environmentally friendly, eco-friendly, and, ecologically friendly and all of these animal friendly ways that we can help the industry, you know, that goes along with this. But a 15% reduction,
Wow.
okay, increases your likelihood of not contracting a cancer by 40%.
Yeah.
That's doable. That's doable for anyone. Dairy.
Mm-hmm.
Dairy. Oh my gosh. There was a wonderful slide that she had about dairy, and an anecdote she shared with us that was really remarkable. She said, dairy milk is made by cows to feed their calves. We are not calves. We're humans.
Nor do we want to look like cows.
Okay, and they give them these nutrients, and the word was pretty exogenous synthetic growth factors. Okay, not to get scientific here because I'm by far not the expert, but if you think about it, a cow's going to produce milk to feed their calves. We're not cows. Yet we're consuming all of these dairy products from our infancy up through to our adulthood, okay? These cows are nurturing and giving all of the nutrients that their baby calves need to develop, you know, for stomachs, udders, to be giant grass-feeding cows. We're not that. So why do we continue to feed ourselves these, you know, these things that are clearly produced to create cows, but we're not cows? So we get these hormones that really our bodies cannot handle because we're not cows, we're humans. And so therefore her argument, which was backed up by research, is that our bodies can't handle that. Our digestive systems cannot handle that. Our digestive systems become highly inflammatory because of dairy products. And really there was a staggering, and I do mean staggering stat that she said, she quoted from an Iowa Women's Health Study, found that women who consumed just 1 glass of milk per day, 1 glass of milk per day, had a 73% greater chance of developing ovarian cancer than those who drank less than a glass a day.
Wow.
I can pause there for reaction.
Yeah. I used to go through a gallon of milk a week.
Ditto. Gallon and a half.
Couldn't sleep. I warmed myself up a glass of milk and put some honey in it. It's crazy to think that I thought that would help me sleep. You did too? And 5 years ago, stopped completely. I haven't looked back.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't consume milk anymore in this house. My children have stopped consuming milk. I used to buy a gallon and a half to feed my 3 children, myself, my husband. It was coffee with a nice big steaming glass of hot milk at night. That's what we did, and it's incredible. It's incredible. That statistic just blew my mind. Like, I don't ever want to see anyone drink a glass of milk a day. I
think if the general public could make that one simple change of eliminating drinking cow milk, putting cow milk on their cereal, or using it in their lattes, that one simple change.
That's it.
Yeah.
One simple change, 73% decrease in getting ovarian cancer.
Wow.
I don't know if it's somebody tells me, here's a magic pill, stop drinking 1 glass of milk and you have eliminated 73% of a chance you're going to get some type of cancer, I'm in. I'm all in.
One other thing that I have seen in research, and I have some of the publications from beatcancer.org as well, is just really taking a look at how many times per week that you're consuming animal products. So is that, a cow milk in your latte? Is that butter on your bread? Is that an egg every morning for breakfast? Is that turkey or ham on your sandwich at lunch? Is that adding animal protein to your dinner and adding some cheese to that? So I like to challenge my clients to track their food consumption for a week and go through afterwards and take a little highlighter and highlight every time that they consume an animal product of any kind. And I'm not just talking about red meat, but anytime they consume an animal product.
Right.
And it's shocking. I think the awareness of how much we actually consume in our society is shocking. And what was the reduction that you said? reduction in animal products or red meat?
15%.
15% reduction?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, just think about eliminating it from one meal a day.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. One meal.
Yeah.
We tried it. We aim for one day without any meat.
Good.
And during Lent, as Catholics, it's even easier. Fridays, no meat. Yeah, done.
Perfect.
trying to help you get healthy. But yeah, that was one of the biggest takeaways from that. And obviously the most obvious one is sugars, but a lot of folks don't understand the implications of sugars and why there's a connection between sugar and cancer. Because one of the things she mentioned was that these sugar is a breeding ground. It's almost like fuel for cancer cells. Sugar helps cancer to reproduce at incredible rates. The more sugar you pump into your system, and actually one of these scans that cancer patients have to get every so often are PET scans, and the way that they conduct the scans is by ingesting the body of this sugar, potent liquid, for lack of a better word, through the body. And then what happens is they shine a light through it, and all of a sudden the cancer cells come out to see what's all this sugar about in your body. And that's the way that doctors can diagnose and scan for cancer, because it's the sugar. Not only that, but in addition to that, cancer also depletes the immune system. And if you're going to fight cancer and you have a depleted immune system, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And it's as simple as that. Being able to eliminate sugar incredibly increases your immune defenses. And if you are a cancer survivor, eliminating sugar from your diet not only will help you to enhance the effects of your treatment and minimize the side effects of your treatment by eliminating sugar out of your diet.
Did she talk at all about what forms of sugar? I mean, I understand not adding sugar to my oatmeal, not adding sugar to my coffee, but what about eating a banana, eating an apple?
Yeah, I mean, complex sugars are very different than simple sugars. The simple sugars that we find in our cereal and pastries and waffles and pancakes, in your tea, in your iced tea, in your soda, those sugars are the ones that they can deplete the immune system about 50%, just by 10 teaspoons. 10 teaspoons of sugar can deplete your immune system by 50%. So if you think about teaspoons, it's hard almost not to get to 10 teaspoons because they're hidden in so many different things. Even in bread, if you start reading the labels of your foods, you'll find sugar in bread, hidden in juices, hidden in salad dressings.
Well, even we were talking about dairy, almond milk, soy milk, all of those alternative milk beverages. If you have to read the label to make sure you're not eating that has added sugars in it.
Exactly. It's scary. It's like you can't trade off one evil for another. So you have to make sure you're reading your labels and really making sure that you don't consume in excess of sugar into your system, because that is not going to help at all. So I mean, that's something that we should look into. One of the things, a couple of items, foods that she suggested as part of keeping yourself in a healthy environment so cancer doesn't breed in your body is complex carbohydrates, lots of fiber, lycopene, which is found in red fruits and like tomatoes. That's really big. Cruciferous veggies like cauliflower and broccoli. All of those foods are really high in nutrients, which help create a lot of fiber, which cleans out our digestive system as well as our colon. It's a way to detox that colon. I hate to talk about that kind of stuff, but it's necessary. Garlic, which I didn't realize was a cancer-fighting food. Garlic and garlic extract, which I was like, really, garlic? They do have garlic in an extract form and in a pill form now. Again, reading the labels, making sure that what you're actually taking is garlic and not a combination of other synthetic things. Mushrooms now.
Yeah, I've opened up a bulb, smashed it, opened it up and sliced it almost the size of a pill and swallowed it if I feel like the immune system is suppressed.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love garlic. I put garlic in everything. I'm just not sure if I'm ready to consume 2 to 3 cloves a day.
Swallow a raw clove of garlic? It's not that bad. You just have to have some other foods with it.
It's
Your husband has it too.
it's an acquired taste, and obviously garlic has other great side effects as well, as like lowering cholesterol and good for folks that have are disposed to heart disease. So those are just some other side benefits of that. But really focusing on our complex carbs, beans and lentils, getting our proteins from beans and lentils, getting those protein digestive enzymes from natural food products, things that don't have a label on them. It's as simple as that, as eliminating food with labels on them. So again, it's about helping out our organs in a day and age when our environment, our food, everything around us is really not our friend, is not friendly, health friendly. It's about really helping ourselves to fight this. And I had a really incredible time listening to her and came out with such a wealth of information. It was fantastic.
That's wonderful. Jennifer, do you have any links that you can post in the comments of this video afterwards?
Yes, I have quite a couple of research links as well as beatcancer.org. She's got a wonderful, wonderful source of information. She is a great source of information. So I hope that you guys check it out. Beatcancer.org, and all of the research is out there. Just educate ourselves. Time.
Great. Well, I'll get this posted up online, and then you can comment with some of the article links and the research, because I think any education that we can share to help people out there, just make some simple changes. This isn't about a complete overhaul of your life overnight. You don't have to go through the cupboards and throw everything in the trash can. But like we were saying before, one simple change, one thing you can do this week is to just write down everything that goes in your mouth for 3 to 5 days, and then go through and just increase your awareness about what you're consuming or what you're not consuming. How many fruits and vegetables are you consuming each day? I think it can be really surprising for most of us, even those of us who try so hard to get 7 to 13 servings a day or more.
Ooh, that's a lot.
So looking at some of my apples and clementines sitting over here, I need to eat them. Well, thank you for your time, Jennifer, and sharing some of your takeaways from this wonderful presentation on fighting cancer with your fork. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kristin.